Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today, the 6th of January. So we did get the rejection. Remember yesterday during the video we spoke about this area here, which we were looking at, looked like a rejection, but it wasn't in concrete. We actually had a range there which I gave you, and the break to the bottom would have given us a trade down, and that's exactly what transpired. We do have non-farm payrolls today. There is another zone of support, or potential support, should I rather say, right over here. It's these two tails here. So that would be the area of support. Bear in mind, we're in between all the moving averages on the 8 hours, so technically this could become bottom of a range. If we start drilling through the time frames, I just want to show you just one on the 3 hour quickly, and you can see there we were stuck in that area yesterday when we did the video. You can see between moving averages, that always indicates a range sideways and then the breakout. So that range that we were talking about yesterday was pretty much that area there. Okay, so looking at the 1 hour, there's the range. Breaks the upside, as I said to you yesterday, would have given you longs. Breaks the downside, would have given you shorts. Problem is we didn't really get a retest of that breakout. It just broke based on the noise that came out yesterday, and we fell. Looking at what's going on at the moment, this is a confirmation we're in a downward trend. You can see rejecting the 155 here. So what you'd be looking for is, you're still looking for this zone as your target area, but you're looking for an entry. And if I can just get the level, it's going to be relatively tight. I want to make sure there's nothing to the left. There is a little one here, so there we go. So what you'd be looking for is a rejection of 105.387 or 105.611. Worst case scenario would be a rejection up here at around 105.849. What you'd want to be doing is trading this during the European session. If you get those rejections there, you're looking for another move into this zone. Don't hold on to anything through non-farm payrolls. It's going to be volatile, just based on some of the data that came out yesterday. So I'm expecting a little bit more volatility. We also have the Eurozone CPI coming out today. So expect some fireworks, I think. That's the key thing. Rejections up here, you're looking for a move down into this zone here. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, we are not really rejecting the levels. So these were the levels we were paying attention to. This one failed. This one has failed as far as I'm concerned. The next one is still open. So 134.509. Bear in mind, with all the data coming out today, we have a similar situation brewing. We don't have diversions here. We do have a confirmation of a crossover here. And I just want to make sure, when we did the video, this wasn't off any level. No, it wasn't. Okay. Now, what you'd be waiting for is some kind of support. So moves to the upside are going to be based on 132.934. So we're looking for a pullback onto that to find support. If we break through this level, that validates a double top here. So be very careful of that. We break through, we come back and reject it, then 132.934 would be a continuation down. Bearing in mind we are in a downtrend on 8 hours. So this, you should be seeing this as a pullback at the moment. So that's the move that I would be conscious of. This is still a target area, 134.509. So the only way to get onto that, let me just fine tune this one. There we go. So if we can find support here at 133.486, then that is your target, 134.509. I'd be very, very hesitant to go hold on to longs beyond this. And if you are long at the moment, I would be moving stops below these swing lows here, because anything can happen today with all the data. And there is also a little 15-minute trend line here, which I would be very, very conscious of. So if you find support along the trend line, or even if you find support here, it's still a move to the upside you're looking for. But pin bar up in this area, another pin bar, which is still kind of in play. There's no candle below it, there's tails below it. But this is the one thing I'd be really worried about. So probably worth just waiting to see what happens at non-farm payrolls. That will be the catalyst of either up or down. And to be honest, I suspect down. I suspect that this thing is getting tired at the moment. It is going to swing around to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the bigger picture. Moving on to British pound, Japanese yen. We got a rejection, we got another rejection, and now this morning we've got a move to the upside again. So, you know, is this the area we still need to be paying attention to, or are we just messing around again? And you can see lovely pin bar off the structure there. I mean, that was a short entry of note, 960 point stop loss, but just basically hit the next level and then bounced around. We do have a crossover of the moving averages, and this looks like a retest of those moving averages. Also looking like a pretty big cup and handle. So just want to get this level in. That's the neckline of your cup and handle. So if you get above, what is this, 162.07 and you hold it, so in other words, move up, come back and find support, then this cup and handle comes into play, which is also possible today. But again, just bear in mind, we are in a downward trend at the moment. There is a 8-hour trend line that is broken here, but then in my experience, you want to pay attention to the first two pin bars, which are those two there, or the first two fractals. So that trend is all the way up there. That would validate a move back into this zone here. Okay, and that would still be a downward move. So for now, it is looking like you should be looking for longs. I just don't like the way this is rejected, and now after hours we're above it. So if we get back below this level of 159.503 and we reject it, then I would expect us to move to the bottom here. In other words, that's just going to set up a range for us. But yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical. I think we'll wait for data before jumping in on the Japanese yen pairs. Moving on to Euro British pound. Pretty much nothing going on. Again, we had a range here. We were expecting, well, I was expecting a range break to the downside, to be honest, but we've broken to the upside and we've come back to test this level. So back to the lower time frames here, and you can see it was a solid move yesterday. Then a rejection off the top of this chaos, and we're back down in this area. So this is an area we need to pay attention to, because if we do find support here, oscillators lining up nicely, moving averages are all here, everything is here. I would just wait for the European CPI data to come out, or Eurozone CPI data to come out, and then pay attention to this, because this could bounce off here. So if it doesn't bounce off here and it breaks and it retests it, then I'm still sitting on the sides, because basically it's moving above and below the moving averages, which is not what I like trading. So if it finds support here, it's a good measure here of a measured move. Good measure of a measured move. Sorry, excuse my English this morning. Good possibility of a measured move, and it would be something like that, because then you would see this as a flag, and that, as far as I'm concerned, would be capped by the top to start with. So it would be capped by this area here, 0.88750, then probably bounce back, find support on something, and then another move to the measured move area, which is going to be 0.88991. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of Forex today. It is looking interesting. We've got lots of data coming out today, which could act as catalysts for us moving into next week. So it's going to be well worth paying attention to what the economic calendar is telling you this morning. Anyway, hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.